today came out with full support for the government over reforms announced last week. Talking to DD News, CII President Adi Godrej said that these reforms will help accelerate growth for the 12th five-year plan period starting for year 2012. This is a DD News exclusive.
I have with me President CII Adi Godrej. Sir, first question, sir, how effective will be these reforms announced last week?
I think the reforms are very important. I think they will help in many directions. One is that we had to be careful because if India was derated by the rating agencies, it would have caused severe problems. I think in that direction it will help. It will help GDP growth. It will help get in more foreign capital. As you know, the rupee has been depreciating, and bringing in capital will be helpful. It will bring in technology, it will bring in experience, it will bring in managerial capabilities. So overall, opening up will increase competition, be very good for the farmers of the country, it will be very good for the consumers of the country, and overall it will be very good for various sectors where the opening up has been announced. 4 or 5 sectors have been opened up for foreign direct investment.
So right now we see the government in a kind of a political crisis. Mamata Banerjee has withdrawn her support. So right now you and the industry backs the government. In a sense.
Yes, we think it's a very good move, and the government has announced that there will be further reform measures which will be announced, and we hope things go well even on the political front, and we expect movement on this front, and India can get back to an 8-9% growth rate in the next financial year if we take the economic agenda forward. And I do urge all the political players to keep in mind the economic agenda, which is good for the inclusive growth in the country.
So the Planning Commission met last Saturday. It pegged the GDP growth at 8.2%. So do you think after these reforms, the GDP for the whole 12th five-year plan could rise above 8.2%?
Yes, it could, and especially if more reforms are announced. The most important reform to get the GDP growth up is the goods and services tax. That single reform could add 1.5 to 2 percentage points to India's GDP growth, other things being equal. And I do hope that will be implemented soon, and that could be a game changer.
But in GST, it requires legislative process. So don't you think problems could occur? Because all these reforms which are announced last Friday were all executive decision.
No, I understand there is a lot of progress in the implementation of the GST, and I do hope that that progress continues, and I do hope all the states and political parties will cooperate to bring in this measure, which is extremely good for the country.
So after this reform, can we see the growth rate rising for the next 2 quarters of the current financial year?
Yes, I expect that the growth in the third and fourth quarters of this financial year should be better than the growth in the first and second quarter.
And so one final question, the animal spirit of the economy, will it rise again?
Yes, I hope, I expect so, and especially if more reforms are announced. Thank you.
That was the president of CII, Adi Godrej, talking exclusively. Sidhant, Sibal, DD News, New Delhi.